Hello, you're watching the Artist Spotlight with Jerry Smith, and my guest today is the one and only Anthony Adeion Hill. How you doing, bro?
All this well, man. Doing just fine. About yourself, Jerry?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for hanging out with me on my first episode of the Artist Spotlight with Jerry Smith.
I feel honored.
All right. So we're going to talk about his music ministry. We're going to talk about how you can find out more about him, but we want to find out about his life. First and foremost, Adeion. That is a unique middle name. Tell us the story behind that.
Adeion. It's just what my mom named me. That's all.
Oh, really? No, like great-great-grandfather?
No, but the first name, Anthony, was named after my uncle, my mom's brother, Michael Anthony. And so most of my family, the guys, they take names after the uncles, middle name or first name. So Anthony was pretty cool.
All right. And where were you born and raised?
Born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm a Grady baby. If anybody know ATL, nobody.
Nothing like the ATL. The ATL is a beautiful city.
Yes, it is.
And music is rich there. So many artists have moved there. And
yes.
A lot of great producers and so on and so forth in Atlanta. But how'd you get to North Kakalaki?
Well, listen here. After graduating from high school, I purpose in my heart. All the neighborhood kids, the neighborhood parents, high school classmates, everybody even in elementary school knew that I was a big fan of Shirley Caesar. And I said, one day I'm going to sing with that lady. They said, why? I said, just something that when she opened her mouth, it's an attraction. It's a magnetic force that pulled me. And it was really pulling me into not so much her, but the anointing that she gives. And I just thank God. And after that, I asked my mom and my stepfather, would they take me. I moved to North Carolina on July, the 4th of July, 1990.
Wow.
And my mom and my stepfather brought me up. And ever since I've been here. And so
So you moved to the Triangle.
Yes, sir.
You had this vision of doing something with Shirley Caesar, working with her because you loved her ministry.
Yes.
You loved her anointing, and it happened. So did you become a member of the church and work your way up?
Right. But first of all, I became a member of her outreach ministry, working for her in the booking office as well. And so I was the guy that cleaned the commode. That was my way of growing up. I had to clean the commode and clean that office. She said, yeah, you're doing good, but clean that office.
Right.
And so from there, Carolyn was able to use me in different areas to be an assistant with her for booking Pastor Caesar. And then from there, Pastor Caesar needed a tenor in the group. Okay. And so I was available at that time. And so my first week on the road, I made my first $1,500.
Wow.
We went to Detroit, Michigan, and we went to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yes, and I never forget it.
Wow. Now, for those of you who don't know Carolyn is Pastor Caesar's longtime manager.
Yes.
And, I love that story because oftentimes people want to start at the top. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They don't want to work their way up. And here you are doing janitorial work,
yes,
doing the commodes, and now you're a national recording artist. You got a new project that we're going to talk about in a little bit. You're working with a living legend, Pastor Shirley Caesar.
Yeah.
Wow.
And from there, with times we wasn't on the road, Pastor Caesar had just became the pastor of the Mount Calvary Word of Faith, and so I was the first drummer of the church. I was the first praise and worship leader of the church, and I was the first choir director of the church. So I was all three in one.
And you know what, Anthony, you are amazing at what you do because I visit the church often, and I see you up there, setting the atmosphere for the service,
yes,
and I'm
sir.
like, wow, when I grow up, I want to be like him because not only is he a great speaker, but he can sing too. You know what I mean? Now, I can speak, but when it comes to the singing part, terrible. Hey, if you're just tuning in, you're watching the Artist Spotlight with Jerry Smith, and my guest is Anthony Adeion. I say Adeion. It's a Connecticut Yankee thing, but Adeion Hill. And when did the vision or the dream for you happen to be a singer? How old were you? I mean, were you a singer before you transitioned to North Carolina and working with Pastor Caesar?
Well, believe it or not, I was singing all around the metropolitan Atlanta area. I was singing on a lot of national levels, which I didn't even realize. I was able to sing for the 1996 Olympic Games. Oh, wow. I was able to go on the NBC Today show. What a guy looked about like you. I think his name was Byron somebody. I can't think of his name.
I know, right.
Yeah,
okay.
He would look about like you. And so I was on things on a national level and got a chance to sing for the Democratic National Convention when it came to Atlanta. So the Lord had blessed me even as not even a major recording, nothing out. And people just loved the gift that I had, and it was able to hook up with people, and they would put me on program and say, he can do it. He does it on a professional level. Wow. And I just thank God for the favor.
Man, that is awesome. And look at you now. You're, traveling with Pastor Shirley Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, and you shared the story about Pastor Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
What other artists did you admire or say, I want to be like them, I want to sing like them? Because we're all, when we're little,
mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? There's somebody that we idolize or
mm-hmm.
is our hero. Who was it for you?
Well, growing up in our home, we lived in the projects of Atlanta, a place that's very familiar around the world called Bankhead.
Oh, yeah.
They had that Bankhead bounce from me. But Bankhead, of course, was a project there in Atlanta that we lived in. And that my mom we had back in the day a hi-fi stereo, long stereo. You played the 45s and the 33s on there. And the times that I was coming up, my mom would play James Cleveland, Aretha Franklin, the Amazing Grace album, and played Shirley Caesar. And then that was a group even I never knew that I would meet them, and didn't know they was from North Carolina, Durham. There was, and they were Sensational Nightingales, And I used to hear these people on the radio and around the stereo, and so listening to them. And then I came across a lady that was from Atlanta, and not knowing that we would ever cross paths, not knowing my mom and her and aunties went to school together, and I crossed the paths, and she was able to get me a major record deal. And that's none other than Miss Dorothy Noah with the World Greatest Storyteller.
Yes, yes.
She gave me my first major opportunity to record a major album.
Wow.
And I thank God for her.
A member of the Caravans, of course, Pastor Caesar, a member
yes, sir.
of the Caravans.
Yes.
And you've met some really amazing people in the gospel industry, traveling in that circle with Pastor Caesar.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure you met some celebrities who are, not gospel artists.
Yes,
tell us about some of the people
that you met.
LaBelle.
Patti LaBelle is awesome. She's awesome. Down. What you see is really what you get. There's no fake or I'm here this way, one way, and I'm the next. No, she's genuine. She's the same. I met Gladys Knight. I met Tina Turner. I met one of the Jackson girls, LaToya Jackson. I met her. I met so many folk that were even in gospel, but their spirit were just beautiful people. And I just enjoyed the moment, man.
Wow. What about political people?
Reverend Jesse Jackson. I met the Kings, all of the Kings. Matter of fact, I used to go every year to Atlanta to sing for the ML King celebration in Atlanta. Big thing there. And Yolanda, the younger baby, Bernice King. I met Coretta Scott King. And I met Martin, I think the third or the second, the son. And I met these wonderful people, and the thing about it, it didn't change me. It kept me humble, I was just glad, God said he'll bring me before great men, and I was glad to be a part, man. Wow. It was just awesome.
You're so blessed, you're anointed, you're gifted, great personality, great
Thank
smile. You, what was the craziest thing to ever happen to you or, in your circle with Pastor Caesar, you personally, that happened? Because a lot of times you hear these stories about promoters not having the money, you know what I mean? So, that's just an example.
Yes, yes.
What can you share with us?
Jerry, since you mentioned that, there have been times and countless times that I've been on the road with Pastor Shirley Caesar, and the promoter didn't have the money. He didn't have the money. While she was calling Jesus, he was out the door leaving. That was just on one occasion. But another occasions, often occasions that I've seen, wherein the promoter was there and he didn't have the money. So what Pastor Caesar did was raise an offering in the midst of the concert and gave it all back because she knew that he had fell in the red, and she was just kind of hearted like that. I want to see him because he has a family too, and so was raised money and gave it all back to the promoter, and so everybody came out on top.
Wow, that is good. Again, thank you for watching us on our YouTube channel. You're watching the Artist Spotlight with Jerry Smith. Again, our guest is Anthony Adeion Hill. Adeion Hill. What was your biggest accomplishment up to this date in your career?
I got a chance to. This is moving to Durham in the early 90s. I got a chance to go to a local hearing. They was doing a local competition, and I got a chance to win in the local final. And from there, I went on to New York City, was able to sing at the Apollo Theater.
Wow.
I won 3 times at the Apollo Theater. And it just made my heart, because when I got there, I was able to see all the walls of fame, all the great celebrities that have gone before me. And I saw the Caravans, I saw James Brown, I saw countless of artists who have gone before. And it just made my heart glad. I made it, you know. Wow. And they said, if you can make it at the Apollo, you can make it anywhere.
Wow.
So,
three-time Apollo Award
yes,
winner.
sir. Yes.
That is amazing. All right, so this is a little off beat here.
Okay.
What's your favorite vacation spot?
Oh, I'll tell you. It's Sydney, Australia.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Wow.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, I got a chance to go. We was touring there for a week with the Caesar Singers, and we went there every night, jam, sold out concert, and the people were so genuine. And the people now this is not a racial comment, but the white folk there can sing. They can sing like us. I'm sure they're so soulful.
Wow.
We passed them, and I mean they can really literally sing and knew all our songs, and it was just awesome. But that's one of my favorite places.
Okay, all right. Favorite car, your favorite car, dream car. You can have it or hope to have it.
Well, I'm driving now something called a Equity, and that's top of the line. I mean, from inside to out. But my dream car, I guess, would be more like a Phantom.
Oh, yes, they're nice. They are.
One day, the Lord said the same as not, but it's all good.
That's right. We have not because we ask not. We're gonna speak that into life. All right. Favorite food?
Well, I'm from the South. I'm a country boy. My mom used to throw it down, but I learned how to eat better now. That was good back then. Some good old collard green with some chow chow.
Okay. So he likes that soul food. I do too.
Good old fresh collard with chow chow. Man, it was good. That's good Southern cooking eating.
And listen, if you've never tried that before, you need to try it because it's good. No doubt about it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Favorite professional team?
Well, I'm not a real big fan of sports. Okay. Now, give me the mic. That's a different story. But I've grown to like football more than any sport. Okay. I've grown to like football. And I would say I'm a big fan of Cam Newton. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus, he's a Georgia boy too. So,
Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm feeling it. If you had an opportunity to spend the day with anyone, past or present, who would that be?
Other than Jesus, because I do it every day with him, I would have to say it would be the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Man full of wisdom, knowledge. I wish I was even back there to just glean from him. But now to see that he's gone on and to see his legacy is still coming into fruition. Things are happening. It's slowly happening, but it's happening. And I would have loved to meet Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Me too.
Man,
Me
awesome.
Too. He and Muhammad Ali are two people.
Now, he would have been hilarious.
And Obama. Those three. I know I cheated.
Yes. Because you might be Obama too. Obama, yes. Barack Obama. Man, yes.
So, okay.
I'm with it.
So let's get into the music.
Okay.
All right. So how long have you been at it?
Professional, I hit the scene in 1995.
Okay.
Dorothy Noah produced my first album, my first live CD called A Message to Jesus Live. And we recorded live in Durham, North Carolina. And that's how I got started with that one. And so I moved on. And this would be, and after 22 years, I haven't recorded nothing as a solo artist. I've recorded on other artists' material, project rather, but this would be my second major, and it's called Hold On, my brand new single called Hold On.
All right.
And it speaks the sentiments of my heart because it talks about, it's dealing with, because what our nation is going through, we're giving up, our people are thrown in the towel, it's like they have no hope, and God have given me a song. It speaks really, like I say, the sentiments of my heart to tell people to hold on. I've been through so much from 10 years, adding up to 10 years, I've lost loved ones, like countless, within the 10 years. And even now, the last 2 months, my mom and my father passed away. And it was so much on me that I wanted literally to like say, I can't take it no more. And I did say that. And I had gotten to the point because I didn't want the outside people, the church world, to see that I was weak. And somebody said, you're not weak, you're human. You love Jesus and all that. At the end of the day, you're still human. Go to the doctor then. I went to the doctor. sat down and talked to the doctor. She said, I got a bunch of pills to give you that'll help you. She said, but I don't want to do that. She said, because there's greatness in you, and I don't want you to get addicted and hooked on this medication, because it can change your life. But I believe you sit down and talk to someone and talk it out. And sometimes what you're going through, others are going through something worse. And you never know, your testimony could enlighten somebody else, you know. And it did just that. And by me talking about it, it's something that you'll never get over, your mom or your loved ones dying. But God will give you grace to get through it. And that's why I am today. I'm getting through it. And by the grace of God, I'm holding on through that song. That song going to bless you. If you get that CD, it's going to bless you. Hold on. If you have to download it, send it to someone, get it. It will bless you.
You know, you've gone through that process. You lost two loved ones, your mom and your dad. And, you know, that's got to be tough. And I went through something similar, and you and I, you know, share similar stories.
Yes, sir.
So somebody's watching right now, and they may have lost a loved one, or they're going through a difficult time. What message would you give them?
I would tell them, Jerry, it can be rough. It will be rough. And that when you lose someone, the days ahead, you know, people are just there sometime for the moment, but after they leave and gone, you're still dealing with issues and problems. You don't know what to do. I tell you, if you grab a hold to God, folks said, you know, prayer don't do nothing, but I believe that, I know for a fact, prayer changes things, changes people, and changes situation. I've been there. Not only I lost my mom, I had two brothers that get murdered, and at the height of my career, and I had to literally stop my career and put it on hold for such a long time. But I bounced back. I held in there. I kept the faith, but I kept crying out to God. God, show me the way. I can't be at my best hurting. So God came in, and He's still dealing with me to this day. So if I can make it, dear heart, you can do the same thing. You be encouraged. It's going to get better.
That's right. It's going to get better and better and better and better.
Yes,
so
sir.
Stay strong. Don't give up. Don't let your life go. You only have one life to live on this
Yes, sir.
planet, and it's temporary. And time goes by real quick. I heard this old saying, the time waits for no one.
That's right. That's
so
right.
please live your life, live for the kingdom, and your testimony is definitely going to bless someone, just like Anthony's testimony is blessing us all right now.
Yes, sir.
Hold on. It's out now. How do people get it?
They can go on any digital music outlet and get it. Anthony Adeion Hill, Adeion Hill, Anthony Adeion Hill, or you can go to my website, gospelbyanthonyhill.com, or reach out to me at www.anthonyadeionhill.com or Adeion Hill, Anthony Adeion Hill at yahoo.com.
He's got so many, man, he's forgetting.
But you'll find me. You'll find me.
Now for booking, they can get book you through that
they
same
can
information?
call Jantina's Music Group. Jantina's, JANTINA''S. Jantina Music Group at area code 770-865-7591. That's 770-865-7591.
Again, you are watching the Artist Spotlight with Jerry Smith on our YouTube channel. Our guest, Anthony Adeion Hill. And thank you, man, for being with me.
Jerry, it's always a pleasure, man.
This
Thank
is
you
the
so
very
much.
first series,
Yes.
and it couldn't have started any better. So thank you. God bless you for all that you do, your heart for the community,
Yes,
and
sir.
your music ministry.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching. And get ready for another episode.